I'm just going to wait till I see it on my end. Give me 1 second. Check.
Okay.
When I see it on my end, I'll let you know too so you can share it. But you're just going to go to the Dani Perro Show page. Second. Make sure your phone is on silent, please.
Yes.
As you know. Yeah. All right, let me share it. Give me 1 second. I just saw it, so I'm just putting it in. Give me 1 second. All right, so we just went Facebook Live. So I'm going to start the show. We are going to start with a 30-second countdown. Okay, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to introduce you guys, and we'll start the show.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2022. 2024. Welcome to the Dani Perro Show here in the home studio tonight. I must be a bit behind on years. I don't know how that ever happened. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's funny. Yeah, it's 2024 for sure.
Yeah, it's almost 2025. I'm so sorry about that. That's very, very awkward in my opinion. But
no. Hey, I'm sure I'll have 3 or 4 flubs up today. But yeah, it's all good. We're excited to be here with you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I love to call you guys as well. I think on your biography, it's called the Married Music Duo. So I want to give you both the opportunity for that chance as well. So I have Cliff and Susan. And if a lot of people do not know who they are, they will now after they hear you on the show. I think it's incredible for the music you do put out there and the way that you guys also probably get a chance to interact and communicate together. Because, we're all super excited to talk about how things started with both of you. So I appreciate that time. So who should I start with first? Who was in music first in the relationship, before the relationship?
Well, I'll just start with, I'm older, so I started music. I started music before him. I started music when I was 6 years old and saw my mother playing piano and wanted to take piano lessons from her. And I asked for lessons when I was 6 and she started me, but then found a teacher for me. And I took 10 years of classical piano lessons from the age of 7 until 18.
That's amazing, Susan.
Thank you. Yeah, I say that's the best gift my parents gave me was the gift of music. And I always I kept playing because I wanted to play boogie. When I heard Jerry Lee Lewis style boogie woogie piano playing, I wanted to play like that. I went to college for math and science. And then when I graduated with a degree in math, I ended up in corporate world working as a radio frequency engineer. And at that time, that was in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I found piano bars and decided that I wanted to try to sing and play in these piano bars and just fell in love with the interaction that happens in those type of venues. So that's kind of the short of it. Then I kind of just, decided that I would follow my passion, left corporate world. And 20 years later, I've been doing music for a career. So that's the short of it for me. Yeah.
And real quick, not to cut you off as well, Cliff, when you start, but for you, Susan, when you were younger and you did get a chance to start piano, were there any other musical instruments that were calling to you, or was it did it seem like piano was like maybe the most thing that just made you feel sane and comfortable and easy to work with?
Piano was it. I picked up a guitar when I was in my teens, and I think I learned four chords, and then it started hurting my fingers, and I put it down.
I did guitar too. I was like, I hate the feeling of
I played saxophone. I don't always talk about this, but I played the alto saxophone in the marching band when I was in school. I do play 2 songs on the harmonica, Old Susanna, and then of course Piano Man. I got to be able to do Piano Man as a piano player. And then
people are gonna come after you if you don't.
And then I play drums as well. So as a dueling piano player, whenever you play in those settings, it's really nice for you to have a backline ability, which means like either bass guitar or drums. And I do play, I get by. I mean, people who don't know drums think I play really well, but I'm like, I'm not really a drummer. I can get her done. I can look like I know what I'm doing.
The chords probably are like quick little beats where it looks like you know what you're doing. Yeah.
It's interesting because piano and drums are both percussion instruments if you really want to be technical about it.
Yes.
And so the beats, the grooves and everything. And when I'm playing the drums, I'm dancing too. I'm dancing with it. That's kind of how I figure out how to just do it because I don't have any training in drums. So I as far as music and how many instruments I play, I pale in comparison to my husband here. But yeah, so those are the ones that I've gravitated toward.
Okay, that's awesome. Incredible. Yeah, I know you definitely do that. And then can I ask, is I know fiddle is his as well, but for you, when you had gotten a chance to start piano and do a lot of different music instruments versus guitar, did you ever look into like ukulele or anything like that as well, or a cajon?
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Yeah, I never picked up a ukulele. I think it actually is a little bit easier than an actual full size guitar. Cajon, I've never really. I'm sure I've been near one, but never really played one. And those actually would be good solutions for me for if in a setting where it made sense for us. I wouldn't mind to try either of those. Those would
Or
be
like
fun.
acoustic wise or anything too, live performance.
Yeah, totally. And then like a shaker or a tambourine. Throw one cowbell.
Yeah, I understand.
Cowbell. We did a full band show this past weekend, and we did Honky Tonk Woman, the Stones, and that has a very definitive beat on a cowbell. And we left the cowbell at home. However, had I had it, I would have been dancing around with my cowbell. So there you go.
Oh, that's adorable. I love that. That's incredible. All right, let's talk about Cliff. What about you? When did you first start interested in music?
I started when I was about 4 or 5 years old on drums. Just early age, was very interested in music and just mesmerized by any music going on. And my dad played guitar and sang, and so I remember him playing when I was very, very young, and that definitely influenced me, I imagine. And I started picking up different instruments along the way. Fiddle was the first instrument that I started after drums, and then
amazing, yeah.
Then guitar, then bass, then piano, and a bunch of other instruments along the way. But I actually was I did music, I say professionally. I mean, I did get paid to do music from a really young age. From 11 or 12 years old, I was getting paying gigs as a band member and some theater performances. So that was really cool. And after I got older, I actually moved to Nashville and played in Nashville for a little while. Came back to Arkansas for a short time, and well, actually, I stayed in Arkansas, but came back shortly after moving to Nashville, and started working as a pharmacy tech, actually. And then I met her in 2016.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
And we started working together almost immediately, and it's all grown from there.
One thing I want to say, if you hear our song, I'm sure we'll talk about our song Fiddle and Keys, but it talks about he was working at the drugstore during the week. And so like that song lyrically tells
you didn't know he was a pharmaceutical. Yeah, exactly. So you like explain your relationship in the song. That's so perfect. Yeah. That's beautiful. So wait, when you were in pharmaceuticals, you said you got a chance to meet her. Was this like being in pharmaceuticals, like when she was in the corporate world?
No. So that was very far. That was far apart. I'm not going to say very far apart, but it was pretty far apart. Yeah, no, we're not exactly the same age, but we're real close.
12 years difference. I'm a cougar girl, and I'm proud of it. Yeah, no, I'm 44. I'll be 45 this year, and Cliff is 32, and I wear my age proudly. Yeah, I've been doing music for 20 years, so do the math. I had to be at least 21 to be in a bar.
And see, I've been doing music for 20 years too. But so yeah, we actually met at a club locally in Little Rock called Willie D's, and it mentions that in the song as well. And so that's where we met each other. And she had a show at a casino in Hot Springs, Arkansas, called Oaklawn Casino, and she played in a small lounge area, and she was still getting that built up. And I started playing with her there, and we've built our show out of that spot. And that's where a lot of our fans and everything have grown from that show. And of course, she traveled internationally, and I've done that with her now. And so it was been doing it all.
I was running around doing my thing with my piano, and then I met him, and we formed our duo. And it's been almost 8 years now since we've been together playing shows.
And I'm sure, obviously, when you first met each other, like the connection was real, where maybe it was more of love, and then you were like, "Hey, we could do this together and be like financially responsible too."
It was music at first sight, and then love happened pretty quickly. We had eloped in Vegas a year later, so and neither of us had been married or kids, so it was we weren't. In fact, we're right now in a car headed to Muscle Shoals to record a song called "Waiting on You, Waiting on Me," and the song content is about like not really looking for someone, didn't realize you were actually waiting on the person that was about to happen, but you weren't really looking. So
that's so beautiful.
We're excited about that.
I love that. That's incredible. Seriously, I think I have to say a lot with your music, and we'll talk, more in the show about it too. A lot of people don't know the type of music that you do perform. I think it's more of, well, we obviously love the fiddle and all the musical instruments too, but it's also the lyrics that mean so much, and they also relate a lot to me in my love life, and a lot of people out there. So I feel like when you hear a happy, lovey-dovey song, it's always in your head, and it's always going to be in your heart, and it's always something that you want to share with the world. So then, like, you will never not share it. You will never not talk about it or sing it. And also, it's amazing for you guys for getting the recognition for that. But it's the incredible, inspiration and everything that you put in through the music. And I love that you can share that with us today.
Well, and beyond that, being able to share it with others, the fact that we can do it together with the person we love, I mean, it's like double awesome. It's just amazing to be able to do.
It's a win-win. Duh.
Yeah. God has blessed us, and we're really happy and doing our thing and recording, and we do over 200 shows a year, and it's we stay busy. We run and gun, but we love it. It's a lot of fun, and so
and so on
tomorrow. Yeah.
No, I love that. What I want to say a lot, with you guys in your relationship too for music. The other thing is, like, when you're in a relationship wise versus the music, do you ever experience hardship situations where either you want to write it in a song or you're like, you have to take a break from each other and then focus on like music? Does that ever happen? No, I'm curious. Tell me.
Yeah, no, and we're totally open and honest about this. I think the funniest thing he said in an interview, because we get this question a lot, is that, and I always say, and it's the truth, is that, when we hit the stage, we could have had a spat or a fight or not been in a great mood or not felt well, but the stage and music, literally, it's like you're faking it to make it. You get up there, you throw on that smile, and your body follows suit, and then all of a sudden, nothing matters but that, and you're having a great time. And so he made a joke last time. He said, that's why I start all my fights right before the show.
You know what I was going to say? I love that you said that. You said spat. Is that your little accent?
Spat. Yeah, I don't really use that word much, but yeah, a little spat, like nothing too crazy, but you're like, meh, not happy with each other. And then show must go on for real. And
so
then
he starts drama on purpose to get the show ready. Okay.
Right.
He's like, that's my little secret.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But I do, just to add to that, I think that the key ingredient for any married, and I don't care what industry you're in, if you're spending 24/7 with your spouse and running a business and working together 24/7, it takes a certain personality type. We're very yin and yang. I'm a lot more outgoing. I tend to be the one that talks too much, and I have to say, hey, you answer the question. Cliff come out of his shell quite a lot.
As well. Yeah.
But just patience and personalities and teamwork and just finding the right person, because I will be gone from him for like 30 minutes and I'll be on the phone with him again, missing him or needing to talk to him about something. So it's not awkward for us. It's natural. And that's a beautiful thing for us. And I mean, not to say we don't have our moments where we're like not happy with each other, but overall it's not something that we deal with a lot. And so yeah, we're normal when it comes to things, but I think he said he just start a fight right before show, and that's his key ingredient.
It's a secret weapon. Yeah.
Exactly. Now I wanted to say, because both of you, I know obviously you grew up like in different towns. Now you both weren't. So you're originally from. Where are you from, Susan?
We're both from Arkansas. I was born and raised in Hot Springs. Technically, I was born in Hot Springs and raised in Magnet Cove, which is a very small town between Malvern and Hot Springs. But it's central Arkansas. And
I was just about an hour north of her in North Little Rock is where I grew up. And now we live in Little Rock and have lived in the Little Rock area for the last 5 or so years. And but we still go to Hot Springs every weekend right now to the racing casino and playing on the weekends there. And then we work quite a bit in Little Rock at different venues in Little Rock. So, but yeah, we've still grown up and have lived in the same central Arkansas area, very close to each other.
I was traveling internationally and had just kind of given up on ever finding a partner in life to join me or understand the chosen career path that I had. I was very lonely, and and to come home back to Arkansas and find an Arkansas boy rooted in Arkansas values, family very central to his core, and all of the value, everything just aligned so well. And then now we're able to travel, and we do travel internationally. We spend all of July in Santa Barbara at the Red Piano. It's a venue there 6 nights a week, and in the same venue but on the island of St. Martin all of November. So we travel. We have 3 little dogs. We don't have children yet. Don't know if God will bless us with any or not, but we're good with that either way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I wanted to ask a little bit about both of you too, for inspiration wise. I'm sure you have a lot of inspiration, maybe both of you, that you connect and communicate with as well. But who do you guys look up for inspiration in the music industry?
I'm constantly studying the business side a lot. So I'll answer that with a business lens, and then I'll tell you artistically. I really like a lot of the artists that are connecting through devices directly to their fan base. I think the key to longevity is obviously the connection you have with your fans, and those who are signed to big labels who actually are still have their thumb on the pulse of their brand, and you feel like you're actually talking to them on their social media, and when they go live and they talk through that device and you feel like they're talking to you on the other end. I think that's the key. And I think some artists that do that really well. Lainey Wilson has done that really well. Taylor Swift does that very well. So I really, from a business side and just from I really love marketing and just social media. And I think Virtual Land is just a wonderful place to be able to connect. So those are inspiring to me, those artists. Now, from an artistic, I love Jerry Lee Lewis, Leon Russell, my favorite piano player. Any of the old Southern rock and roll really makes me inspired to sing and play. But I do, current artists, there again, Lainey Wilson, she's a classic example of somebody who's really rocking it in the country world and has a high energy show that is very similar to what we bring is the high energy show. Just off the cuff. Love Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton. Some more current, maybe I can think of some more if you want to answer.
We both listen to Lucas Nelson, 49 Winchester, Whiskey Myers, and we're kind of into that almost independent Texas country circuit. We love that kind of stuff.
I love independent artists,
Yeah, and I play so many different styles and genres. I have probably too many influences to name, but on guitar, Brad Paisley's a big. I'm a big fan of his, and a lot of guitarists in the country industry, Guthrie Trapp, and fiddle players, Mark O'Connor, Tim Crouch. There's a bunch of really, really cool players that I follow and are inspired by. So definitely
and stuff you probably learned with the fiddle and different music and stuff like that. So
but I grew up listening to 90s rock and Three Doors Down and Stone Temple Pilots and that kind of stuff. So I have a broad spectrum of even from metal to bluegrass. So I mean, yeah.
Well, the other question, go on.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm excited that we're headed down here to Muscle Shoals, where all of this Southern rock and roll and even R&B and all this great stuff came out of it. And it's really inspiring to be headed down here to let some of that creativity rub off on us. So
I wanted to say another thing. When somebody is able to see your show, what type of, I don't even say audience, but for instance, if you have a set list of what you're going to do versus, what songs you're going to perform, and different tracks and everything like that live, what type of energy do you bring versus genres? Obviously, we know there's country. Obviously, we know that there's different types of, inspirations that, Cliff was saying over there on the side. But if somebody was to come to your next show, what's the type of energy that you could mention to somebody that's tuning in and maybe they'll come out to your show?
Sure. I want to answer that and with a very realistic approach, because, we have our country music as our original music, and we're pushing out. We've been pushing hard on our original music, and we do play at most of our shows are cover shows where we're doing country, rock, oldies, and blues. And so we'll throw in some of our music, of course, but we're doing duo shows with a drum machine. My left hand has a left hand bass sound on it. layered with my keys, and then he's on guitar. So we sound like a full band as a duo. And
That's incredible.
we can thank you. We can turn on a dime. And so to answer your question, first of all, our job is to elevate the energy of the room when we walk into that room.
Very
and
true.
every room, every show's different. We're doing 4-hour shows. We're taking requests.
No set list.
No set list. We are shooting from the hip, knowing that we are reading the crowd. I'm looking at my demographic. Are they old, young, middle? I'm thinking about how old were they in their formative years, 15 to 22 years of age. What were they listening to on the radio? That's the top hits I need to be playing for that specific crowd. That's a general rule. Mm-hmm. Then if I'm in a certain region of the country or the world, then that kind of can help me guide what I might play. We take requests, so that will obviously dictate some of the content or the set list, if you will. We're doing high energy songs where I get the crowd to sing. We're getting them to sing and dance. So you're going to hear like the Brown Eyed Girls and Sweet Caroline and Journey and Bon Jovi.
Speaking of Journey, I mean, we tried to take them on a journey.
Journey.
It's always.
Okay. I see that.
That show. That's kind
incredible.
of implementing it into the show of, we want those peaks and valleys to happen, because we read the crowd. If they're getting a little too rowdy, we might throw in a Tennessee whiskey or
slow them down.
A slower, so.
And then I always say, and we train on this type of show in our Entertainers Academy. I don't know if you saw that we've got an academy we launched where we're helping other artists. But what we explain, like the hour is like up and down, like you start out strong and you kind of take them on a journey. And then throughout that journey, it's not just switching up genres or tempos, meaning high energy, low, but it's also adding in variety. Your variety could be pulling out a different instrument, playing the harmonica. Cliff's doing some blues harp now on a lot of songs, like on an Allman Brothers tune, or fiddle, grab the fiddle, do something different. So you want to keep variety. When you're there for 4 hours, to keep them captive for 4 hours, you have a bag of tricks that you're just like constantly pulling out from.
Like a magician.
Finding interesting characters in the crowd that you can bring down to the stage and have them do something fun. And we've got all of that kind of in our pocket that we can pull out and do throughout the night.
That's incredible. I wanted to say, regardless, because I know you definitely tour a lot internationally too, but have you ever toured Eastern Standard Time, like Eastern Coast? Like I'm here in New Jersey.
We're headed up to do a show in New York, and it will be in September. It's a private concert, but we're talking to a radio DJ in Rhode Island who might be able to put us on a venue or two on the way up, which is not really on the way, but we would kind of go out of our way to go. So yes, we would love to do some more shows. We have some fans from the Caribbean that come down to see us every year who are trying to get us booked in Cape Cod. So I think that they're in the future we could get some dates up that way, and we'd have to be strategic about it. But that's what you do when you go book a tour. You just pick a date, you start filling in the gaps and do it. The only wild card is bringing our 3 little dogs in an RV. We're gonna have to figure that out.
No, I was gonna say that's actually really funny and it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because I wanted to see if you guys can come down to like New Jersey area too. But in August area, if I'm not even mistaken, I think I'm going actually Cape Cod with my boyfriend and his family.
Okay.
For 2 weeks. So if you guys are down there, please let us know, because we will force our way to come to you guys in a heartbeat.
Well, we actually have not nailed down any dates this year. We will. I think next year will be our Cape Cod ability. Okay. We ended up booking up before we got any dates landed down or nailed down.
I love that you said that, though. That's incredible. That means that I can see you live.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be great.
Now, when you guys do come down to New York area, depending on the situation or how close you are, I don't know if you're going to skip immediately from right through New Jersey to New York, or however the certain type of, different transportation way is, or anything like that. But if that is the case and you pass us, we could also have you at the studio too.
That would be awesome.
Just reach out to Chris and let him know.
I would love that. That would be great. This is what it's all about, making connections. And
we don't want to bombard you, but we definitely want to have you in the studio.
That would be awesome. That would be great. Well, I mean, we ride with our entire gear in the back of our vehicle. We can load up and load out of this back of this 4Runner and throw on a party. So you'd be surprised at what we could do with what we get in the back of this vehicle.
Well, that's incredible. I love that. I think it's pretty amazing how you guys work really well together, communicating and talking, laughing. I love it. I love the romantic part of it. And I think also being a relationship part and musician, it could be fun and tricky at the same time, where, you might be dealing with situations, not even anything stressful wise, but anything you guys are dealing with, you're dealing with together. Right. So if you have any haters, you're like, oh, whatever. We're, so much better than them. You don't have to worry about anything negative happening to both of you, because you know where you stand your ground. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think also part on your bio, Susan and Cliff, you guys are also part of like a production company, or is it your own company?
We own Big Red Dog Productions, so I do studio engineering there. We produce other artists. We record music for other artists as well as our own. We produced our own album there at the studio, with the exception of 2 tracks that we had brought from a Nashville project. But we also do event planning. We do booking for a local Pulaski. It's actually called the Pulaski County Fair. If you really look into our bio, you might find that one. But it's a fair that we book, and she does the marketing for. We've had a festival, a country music festival in the past called Yadaloo Music and Arts Festival.
I think that was on her bio, your resume.
Got our hands in everything.
Yeah, we do all things music, and the Big Red Dog Productions. The name came from Cliff being called Clifford the Big Red Dog when he was growing up.
I'm sorry, I had to say that. When I heard that, I was like, I know his name is Cliff, but I was like, I cannot stop saying it. It sounds like Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah. Well, his handle used to be Big Red Dog before he changed all of his social media handles just to Cliff Prowse. Okay. And so when we went to incorporate, we were like, we'll just call it Big Red Dog Productions. So that stuck, and we've been incorporated since 2017. So I guess we're coming up on.
That's something where you guys grew internationally too, right?
I'm sorry?
Like that was something that you both kind of started with, or is that something?
Yeah, we're partnered. Yeah, we partnered together. Yeah, we incorporated together. It's a partnership, an LLC, and we run all of our business under that. So all of our entertainment, marketing, venue partnerships, sponsorships, all of it goes through that, which is important when you're an independent artist. We actually, I guess you could just say we are our own label. We are running.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. It seems like that exactly what it is. And, you're loving what you do. It's your own label. Nobody can really tell you what to do or how to change, your music. Because you want it the way that you visioned it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to be able to do and go. I will say, bandwidth is the hard thing when you are the product that you're marketing and you are doing it all. Building a team is important at a certain point. We're at that point now where we worked with some publicists and we have agents. We have a virtual assistant that works full time for us now. So it at the end of last year, we were like, we got to delegate, or I'm going to run a wheel off over here. So it's been nice to be able to build a team.
Do you have people that reach out to you as well? Like versus, you have like upcoming gigs and people are like, hey, can I come to your recording studio and record like my album or something, or like different, like independent musicians around the area?
Yeah, Cliff's got about 3 or 4 projects going right now that are not ours, that he's working with. But the challenge is now that, you can answer this. Go ahead. He gets backed up. We don't have enough time.
Yeah. We've gotten so focused on our own music. We still we've got some lingering projects that we've got to get finished, and we're really working on. We've got so many songs written and in the works that we want to get down and get recorded. So
Cliff is up for Producer of the Year at the Arkansas CMAs this year. So we're excited.
Congrats. I hope you win. I think that's incredible. When is the award ceremony?
It's on June 3rd here in Arkansas, in Conway, Arkansas, where I went to college at the Reynolds Performance Hall. Are
you allowed to vote online or anything?
Voting has already happened. So now we'll just see who wins. But it's an honor to be in the top 5. When you get the nomination, it just really is a great way for Arkansas to celebrate our talent. And we're in our 7th year with the Arkansas CMAs, and
they just might have a way to view it online, because I've heard from the grapevine, just from one of the people, that they've got a new sound company and video.
They might be doing live streaming.
Maybe.
Well, we'll see. You might be able to watch from afar, but
if they do, make sure you post or tag us, because we would absolutely love to, and also share it on our social media platforms so we can have people tune in and be like, oh my God, look who won. We know that certain types of faces, so we appreciate that. Well, I think that's incredible. Being nominated is also a huge honor, because it means you're doing something amazing in life, and you have so much more to come. You never know when you guys have like so much ahead of you still. And even though you're always touring and busy and probably writing, lots of music. I was gonna say, who writes the music mostly? You both write like together, or who focuses
We
on
both
music?
write. I'd say we both come up with ideas. My ideas come from more content and lyrical, and I'm writing the lyrics. He tends to find a musical hook, and I would say he's quicker about writing than I am.
I think I just have more time. She's
Hey,
always
you
busy.
need the time though.
Yeah.
You guys definitely.
I'm much more music minded, and she's very business minded. So she's working on a lot of the content, and so I think I just have more time, and that's what my brain focuses on most of the time. But every once in a while, it'll it's about half and half. It'll be lyrics or it'll be music first, or she'll come up with an idea, say let's write this, and or she might have some lyrics that we're working on. So
we were in Nashville about a month ago now. Gosh, it's been a month. We did a co-write with Lala Deaton and Blue Foley. And so we do some co-writes when we strategically here and there with the folks who we vibe with. And we wrote one called Coming In Hot. It's going to be one of the songs that I'm going to be a lead vocal on. So yeah, we've been building. We've got over 30 songs right now that we were like, these are all heavy contenders. Yeah, we built. Yeah. So then it's just a matter of either finishing them, tweaking them, or, then getting into the studio and strategically recording those, recording them and releasing them based on what we think makes sense for our next releases.
And just keeping busy, I'm sure, with that too.
Oh,
I'm so glad you guys have time though together. I hope you get more time as a couple versus always being on the road.
We do
every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while
when we get home.
But it's always business. I understand that completely. Unfortunately, I mean, Christopher is my manager as well, and with that opportunity being said, you don't get that much time where maybe in the beginning it feels like, but it is always supposed to be professional business because it shows so much of what you want to do and put out there that you want to keep it, business and professional.
Yeah, and I say when you throw a party for a living, it really is, it is fun. Like we are having fun. There's certain moments where like loading in gear and loading it out, that's not the fun part, but we really do have a fun life for work. So it's like, what do y'all do in your free time? Well, I'm like, well, we're actually pretty boring because we normally just throw a party for a living. So then we're just like chilling at home or whatever. Yeah. But I will say I'm a workaholic. One of my goals this year was to be a little bit more balanced and focus on me time, go to the gym, go get my nails done, do the things that I sometimes put aside because but I enjoy working. So it's give and take a little bit, but balance is my word for this year.
So what I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about, because we talked about fiddle and keys earlier. Now, I'm just curious as for the amazing title of it, because I know obviously the musical instruments in the song. So was that super easy to come up with the title of the song? Or was that something where it was like last minute they were like, why do we need lyrics? Why don't we just do the musical instruments, fiddle and keys? And then tell me a little bit about the track as well.
I'll answer half and you can take it the rest.
Sure.
Santa Barbara, California, we were on a contract playing at the Red Piano there. It was about 5-6 years ago. And my marketing brain was like, we need a signature song. We need a song that allows it. Because I always say we're where Jerry Lee Lewis meets Charlie Daniels. If you want to think about the energy and the instruments that are signature to our duo. So fiddle and keys obviously came out. And I think I was the one that said, baby, won't you play me just a little, please? You play the fiddle and I'll play the keys. And then from there, we were like, okay, because that branding wise, here is my business brain going, we need a song that allows us to do what we do best. And that is rock a keyboard, rock a fiddle. And then I'm like, well, let's tell our story lyrically. So it's like, from a marketing standpoint, to me, it was like, this is our flagship song. Like, this is us, and we wanted to give ourselves time to find our sound as a duo. So when we started releasing original music, it made sense when we performed it, that it made, that number one, that we brought a high energy about our show and that we had songs that we could really perform and get excited about. I don't know if you had anything to add about
just on the arrangement side of it and track, there was a lot of inspiration, obviously, with we actually listened to some Charlie Daniels tracks. Obviously, Devil Went Down to Georgia is one that always comes up. We wanted that song, our song, Fiddle and Keys, to be one of those highlight moments in our show where we can both show off, and not just the fiddle, but both of us show off, but still have that same energy as Devil Went Down to Georgia. But also there's South's Gonna Do It Again. Both of those songs have a lot of stops, pushes, and parts to them, and so I wanted to make the arrangement exciting and musically interesting, not just for lyrical content, but also as a musician listening to it, I wanted it to be interesting for them to listen to as well. And so just we really like how it turned out, and we had one other musician, a drummer, play on it, and then we did all the other instrumentation. And
Andrew Fry helped me write my piano part.
That's right. That's right. Andrew Fry.
Okay, so somebody else helped you also,
Yeah, we had a couple of Yeah.
It's a lot of fun musical influences and just like a fun inspiration. I mean, that song I feel like is so upbeat and fun that it makes you just want to tap your toes and learn how to play the fiddle. But God knows I'm never going to be able to do that. But it's too nice to dream.
I can play a terrible version of Mary Had a Little Lamb that you don't want to ever hear again after you hear it. Also, just lyrically, that song tells our story. So the first verse is me singing about what I was doing before I met him. The second verse is him singing about what he was doing before he met me. And then the last verse is you be Johnny, I'll be June. It's like what we're doing now together. We got a chance to be on the Huckabee show on TBN. We ended up on national television because of that song. So we got to perform it, and it's been a career builder song, really. And so when we got ready to release a full-length album, we were like, no, this has got to be the title track. So I think it says a lot just lyrically. The name of it is just pretty much who we are as a duo.
Yeah, it's definitely incredible. I really like that. I wanted to mention a little bit too with was it Neon Dreams? Is that also a single that you previously had released? If you could tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, we released that album. So that was one that we wanted to release to promote the album, and it just again a good energetic song, and we like to say it's about living for the weekend, and as a musician we're whether we make it big or not, whatever that means to somebody, we are just loving what we're doing,
living for the weekend,
facilitating the party for people and making everybody happy and having a good time, and that whole community of what we get to do as musicians, bringing everybody together, uniting, singing along, and having a good time. So that's what the song is about. And so that was one that we felt was a good, strong promotional release for our album.
Yeah, and we had already released Fiddle and Keys, so that was kind of the lead single for the full-length album. And that was a co-write between the two of us and Bree Ogden. So there were 3 writers on that one, all Arkansas artists there.
That's incredible. That's all independent and beautiful. And I know we had mentioned a little bit previous in the show, you guys have a lot of upcoming tour events and dates coming on. Did you have any upcoming shows you wanted to talk about tonight on the show as well to promote?
So absolutely. We have every weekend we're playing at the casino in Hot Springs, Arkansas until May 4th. So we play every Friday and Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. That is a great opportunity to come and see beautiful Hot Springs, and it's a thoroughbred horse racing track attached to the casino where we play.
Is that live as well, or is that just in person?
I'm sorry?
Just in person.
Okay. I was asking if you could watch it virtually online.
Oh, virtual. We do a virtual show once a month in our Cliff and Susan private fan group. So if you're on Facebook, if you could type in Cliff and Susan private fan group, I think is the name of it, you can join. Anybody can join. It's just
I will join. Everybody needs to join. That's incredible. Yeah. I like that opportunity.
We do an hour and a half show once a month and interact with our fans out there, and it gives us a chance to see everybody that was really started out of the pandemic and the need to just be able to connect online. And we did a show a day. We did so many, over 100 shows during the pandemic online, and built a really cool little community. And so that community there on the Facebook group is awesome. So you could do that if you're not in Arkansas. July is all of Santa Barbara. We're in Santa Barbara all of July. We're on the island of St. Martin all of November. We have some full band shows where we're doing our original music. Kings Conway in May. I think that's May 11th. We're working on another Little Rock date right now for our full band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe even a July 4th festival in Santa Barbara.
They're talking about putting us on a big stage on the beach in Santa Barbara. That might happen for July 4th.
That's incredible.
We have an opener spot for a national headliner that we haven't been able to announce yet, but that'll be in Arkansas on a lake somewhere.
There's a lot of
Yeah, our schedule is on our website. I encourage anyone to go to cliffandsusan.live and you can see where we'll be.
Well, I think that's incredible. I appreciate your time for you guys being here today. I do also want to say you were talking prior pandemic situation. I wanted to know, due to that, how did the pandemic affect your career, whether it was you guys mentally or physically? Do you feel like you got to slow down with everything? Maybe it was like very overwhelming, or type of thing where
it was certainly a slowdown. We were following it very closely and knew that it was going to happen before I think several other people believed that it was going to happen, and so we started maybe preparing a little bit before others.
Only like 2 weeks before.
But also with our live shows, we had already been doing that for our private fan group.
And there were like 10 people in there.
Yeah, there were only 10 people.
So maybe it grew more, basically, a little bit, like you would say.
Yeah. So we've grown that fan group to 5,100 people now, and I would say what it taught us too was resilience. And we had to get creative and pivot. I hate the word pivot because I feel like that's what everybody said during the pandemic. Pivot.
Yeah.
But we were able to. The silver lining in it all was that we were able to connect with people in a space that we would never have really done that because of the pandemic. And we made over 2,000 masks because I sew. And we went to sewing so we could survive financially.
Everything that you do, Susan, this is not on your bio. Everything that she said today is not
everything in my bio. You think I was a crazy lady, but no, the sewing, my mom taught me to sew, and there were no masks to be found, and they were like mask mandate. And so I'm like, we'll just order up some fabric, and I'll just get to sewing. And so we made all these masks and sold them, and then we were. I would say
you probably gave back to the community that way too.
Yeah.
Did you have masks that said like Cliff and Susan?
We never did that because it would take too long to brand it, and we needed to get them out the door quickly because everybody literally needed there. You couldn't find a mask anywhere, and we needed them. So I did go a little crazy on all the patterns. I found all these different types of fabric, and I was like cheetah print and Pokemon and zebras, and I was all kinds of stuff, and I ended up with
that sounded fun to make.
Yeah, I got excited about the fabric a little too much, I think.
A little bit.
But you guys also do you have merchandise as well on your website?
We do.
Absolutely.
In fact, we have a full-on store that we branded Rainy Ray, not to confuse anyone, but that was where we put our jewelry and our we even have a fragrance that we made on the island. We have I do watercolor paintings, and that's another thing probably not on my bio, but I funded my first album in Nashville by doing over 300.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then we have
everything.
I do a lot of stuff. I like to try things, but if you go to rainy.com, you can see our artwork and our t-shirts and mugs and
jewelry.
Cliff even makes jewelry. We do a lot of deer horn.
What type of jewelry do you have in there?
It's like deer horns and copper and crystals.
Yeah.
It's copper electroforming. And we don't do it. We did a lot of that during the pandemic, actually. So you can see some of that inventory is still there. You can check out our online store, Rainy Ray, RAINY RAY. So rainy like rain. So rainyray.com. Yeah.
Okay, that's where your merchandise is, or is that just?
That's where all the merch is. Everything, jewelry, fragrance, all of it.
And you can find that also off of our website. You don't have to go to Rainy Ray, but if you go to cliffandsusan.live, then you'll find it there as well under our merch.
And you'll hit shop now and you'll see it.
I think it's incredible. And currently, we know you have a lot of couple music in the works. Do you have any teasers or anything currently coming out? I want to say within like midsummer, spring, mid-fall type of thing. When do you normally do your releases? Do you like to tease?
So we're trying to release every 6 to 8 weeks on some songs, so that it's the latest thing to do. The trickle release is what they call it, and it just keeps engagement, and people are constantly getting new music and not having to buy a whole album or listen to a whole album. So we do have a few. Of course, we're going to record right now, and we'll be releasing these 2 songs maybe as in the summer. But we also have done a 3-song collaboration with another artist that has been really making some great waves, and she was just recently on the CMT Awards, playing with Trisha Yearwood, who is married to Garth Brooks. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
Trish
That's
Yearwood's
incredible.
Trisha Yearwood's also a big deal, not just with Garth Brooks, but
Well,
if you
yeah,
don't,
both of them are. Yeah, exactly. I know where you're coming from. But getting the
and
opportunity to
so-
collaborate with those types of people is also incredible for your career. Because maybe
Yeah,
these are people you also grew up listening to where you're like, oh my gosh, we're on the same stage with Garth and Trisha, you know.
Yeah.
You never know what it's gonna be. So
her name is Erin Enderlin. She also is from Arkansas, and she wrote a song that Trisha is cutting and releasing in the coming week or so, and put it in a song. I think is the name of that song. We co-wrote a song with Erin, and then these two songs were the next song we release is going to be Last Call, and it's a song that Erin wrote, but she wanted to do a collaboration with the three of us, and Cliff produced it. And when we release it, it'll be a collaboration. So both of our fan bases will be able to see that recorded version. And Erin is doing the lead vocal on that. We're doing harmonies and our musicianship around her. And Leanne Womack made that song a hit back in the late 90s.
No, it was about 2010.
2010. Okay. And
yeah.
so, yeah. So Erin is just a prolific songwriter and amazing talent. Turned in a great friend of ours now, and we're really proud and honored to be able to collaborate with her. And that will be our next release, most likely, is Last Call.
That's amazing. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear that, especially if that's coming out soon, you know, when you guys get to record and everything.
Yeah.
How did you also get a chance to connect with Michael Stover? I know he's the amazing connection. We also had gotten the opportunity from you tonight, and we appreciate his time, so much dedication for sending us your music. Because like I said, when I first started fiddling the keys, I was like, Christopher, whoever they are, I don't know who they are, contact them immediately. But then obviously we had a list of like 25 people we took from Michael. And
well, we're so honored to be here, and I appreciate you saying that. We worked with Michael came to us. We actually 10 Penny Gypsy is a duo. They used to be a trio. They're independent artists here in Arkansas. I say here, I'm in Alabama right now, but from Arkansas, and partners of ours on a monthly showcase that we do. We got to know them a lot during the pandemic. There's another pandemic connection. We helped them keep their monthly showcase alive virtually by coming to our studio, and we produced it. And Sounds of Unity is the name of that. And anyway, 10 Penny Gypsy had been working with Michael, and I saw the great work he was doing for them. And so we reached out to him when we felt the time was right for us to start promoting our album. And he's been doing wonderful things. We've been on so many podcasts and publications, and just it's really, really awesome to see his company grow while we are growing with him as well.
I love that. I think that's amazing. Yeah, he's such a sweetheart. I really appreciate his time and how quick he responds to the emails. I think after I get like one email, he's like, all right, Chris, let's do this. And I'm just like, oh my God, he's just so, you know,
he's on
exactly it. Exactly. And I'm sure exactly that's how you guys are with the emails too, you know, with
I try to be. I will tell you, if you saw my email inbox that's open right now on my phone, you'd say, oh, you're a hot mess. Somehow I keep it together. But I'll tell you, it's, you know, definitely staying on top of your business. Sometimes you just can't miss an opportunity, and you need to move quickly. And so the business side is my wheelhouse over here.
Yeah.
This guy that's tuning in, Vinny Marone, if you can see, he said Mark is, you know, is one of his favorite artists too. He's from an amazing band right here in New Jersey as well. It's called Jersey Calling. And
nice.
they're a pop punk band, and they're actually really incredible too. They're getting the opportunity to perform, I believe, in Camden. Atlantic City for this Saturday, but also in Camden. They get the opportunity to perform at the MMR barbecue for the radio station, and I think Hailstorm is like one of their opening artists, or I'm sorry, is one of the headliners. They're one of the openers. So I was like, I'm so excited for them. I think that's incredible. So every time they tune in, I'm like, shout out to them. I appreciate it. I love everyone collaborating.
Well, thanks for watching, Vinny.
Vinny Marone. Is that how you say his last name?
And Cliff, do you see what he said here?
I do, and I'm with him.
Yes, he says, I sometimes feel like the late 90s were as recent as the 2010s. Yes, I know. Absolutely.
That's what he said. You said 90s. He said 2010s.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the communication. I really do. I can't wait to hear a lot more new music coming from you guys. Anything that you have also to release MP3 wise, Michael or whomever yourself,
Absolutely.
You guys can send it over to us here at Hamilton Radio. We would love to play it. If you have any musicians or independent artists that you also want to get the opportunity to be on the show, can send them my way. We will
We have
definitely
a whole roster, girl. We got you. We love sending people and just.
I love interviewing. I hope to do this until I'm not here. So this is
Love it.
something that I truly love doing as my calling, you know.
Well, you're
and,
so good at it. This has been so fun. Yeah, I can absolutely send more artists your way. We have I mean, honestly, if you want to go and just go to arkansasmusic.org and see all of the nominees in those categories for the Arkansas CMAs, that's the arkansasmusic.org is their website.
Yeah.
Just go look at any of them, pick one of them and contact them. I don't know if they need to work with Michael to get through to you or if you're just cool to go straight to them, but they're all, I mean, we have a
Do we just contact them specifically, or do they know you? We should contact them through you.
You could tell them I sent you. If you want to tell them I sent you, most likely.
I will give that one to Chris. He'll be doing it next week. Awesome.
Yeah. Or if you want to reach out to me and say, hey, what do you think of so-and-so? And I can maybe give you a little bit more information so you can
of course
use a little bit
more. Yeah, biography and just get an idea of who the artist is.
Sure.
Just to get
we're one big happy family in Arkansas. We want to support each other. And like I said, this Arkansas CMAs has been that's how we met Erin and ended up now recording with her. So,
That's
I mean, it's a
small world.
Yeah, very. And Arkansas
is growing.
Yeah.
Look, I have to appreciate both of you, your time, your dedication, staying on the amazing, in the car. I'm sure you're probably like,
it's raining. It's raining. So here's our next 24 hours. Our next 24 hours, we're going to leave the parking lot of this Chick-fil-A because we thought we could go inside and use their Wi-Fi, but that didn't work out. So we're in the car. We're going to, about 30 minutes from Muscle Shoals, we're going to get to our hotel, unload our gear, and have rehearsal all night. So I get my parts right for this recording session tomorrow. Waiting on you, waiting on me. This version of the Swampers at Fame Recording will be our band tomorrow to record our song that we wrote. And then we're going to do our version of Into the Mystic, Van Morrison. So we've got our country version that we do. So we got 2 songs we're recording tomorrow. Yep. And depending on how we feel, we may go ahead and drive on back to Arkansas, or we may stay one more night and then drive home the next day. So
okay. Well, did you guys get dinner or anything too? I hope you get a chance.
We're starving right now.
So then hopefully after this, but before driving, you might go get food, or you might get food at the hotel.
We're going to get food. We're going to settle in. We've been driving for about 4.5 hours. And yeah, but it's been so much fun. And I told Cliff, I was in my head about, we got to do the interview from the car. He was like, this is part of our story, honey. This is it. We're good. We're good. We've got Wi-Fi.
And I really have to say, look, the dedication you guys took. Literally, I don't care that the interview is in the car. I think it's amazing that you took the time to be here. I really do appreciate that.
Well, we are people of our word, and we said we'd be here, and we're here. So I'm glad that our Wi-Fi connection was good enough that we could do it from the car. And hey, sometimes lighting is better from the car. The sunlight is better than a dark.
Your lighting is so much better than mine, I'm sure.
Well, it's not because we planned it that way.
Well, thank you so much. Keep us updated, please, with any upcoming music that you have, collaboration as well. Or if you're around our area and you can stop in the New Jersey studio, we would gladly love to have you. I'll move anyone around in a heartbeat for you. So.
Well, and likewise, you have an open invite to any show we're at in the Caribbean, in Santa Barbara, or for sure Arkansas. We'll be your tour guide, and we'd love to visit with you guys and have a double date. That would be a lot of fun.
I love that. I think that's incredible. Well, I really appreciate you guys so much. You're incredible. Give out your social media, please, and your website where people can find you.
Yeah. If you go to our website, just type in cliffandsusan.live, and everything we talked about today will guide you there. So cliffandsusan.live, even our social media is there. But on any social media platform, you can just type in Cliff and Susan, and it's Cliff with an ampersand. Is that how you say ampersand?
Yeah, ampersand.
The little
I love her accent so much. It's so cute.
Thank you. And so Cliff and Susan everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're even on LinkedIn, Snapchat. I'm sure I'm missing like something we're on, but yeah.
Yeah, we're on there.
X, oh yeah, X, Twitter. We're even on Pinterest, but don't go looking for too much on Pinterest, but we are there too.
No, I appreciate it. Look, thank you guys so much. I'm going to let you go so you can go enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your amazing time tomorrow and food tonight. Thanks you again for anything. If you need anything, reach out to us. We're an email away. We love having you, and thank you again.
Thank you to both of you. Yeah, thanks, Vinny, and thank you both.
Enjoy our music.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.